This show is sponsored by We Are Change Fresno.
Folks, we're back. This is We Are Change Fresno on 1680 AM. I'm your host, Stuart Webb, along with my co-host, Sam Chaney. We got our producer, Woody, in the studio.
Hey.
We had a great first hour, an interview with Jill Love, an artivism activist.
Awesome.
And she does great art for the public, in public, so that she can raise awareness for very important things like Palestine, what's going on between Palestine and Israel.
China's human organ harvesting.
Organ harvesting. I mean, you got to check out her website, jillloverevolution.com. It'll amaze you what she's and what she's doing. And it's really the images that she does. They're pretty tasteful. Okay, it's not porn. She's trying to portray a message. She's trying to convey a message to the public that's important. And you know what? If it takes an attractive woman bathed in, blood or whatever, or oil.
Organ harvesting?
Yeah. Oh no, organ harvesting in China. This is going on. She's raising awareness, and if it takes a beautiful woman,
in Spain.
Yeah.
Free speech in Spain. She just told us that they just made a law in Spain. You don't have any free speech and you're not allowed to film police. That's coming here in America.
Yeah, you're not allowed to film the police. They already act like it here in America that you're not allowed to film the cops, but it's completely legal. But she's raising awareness, and she's not just, and also she's a model now because of her exposure, but really she's going to continue to touch many people's lives and impact people because of the activism that she's doing. And she can make a difference, and she is making a difference, and we need to think that same way. We can't just sit around and be apathetic and say, we kind of know things are bad, but, what do we do about it? Well, first, you have to stop saying, well, what do we do about it? Okay, do something about it, okay? And if it requires you sitting at home thinking about solutions, thinking about ways you can do something and actually make a difference, well, then you sit at home and you do that, okay? You cannot just continue watching television and let them, the powers that be, literally use mind control on you through the television to be apathetic and not care, because, look, a lot of things are going on, and the only way it's going to get changed, the only way it's going to reverse course is if we do something, the people, okay? And they're banking off your ignorance, you're banking off your apathy, and they're going to use CBS 47 to say, what you gave to us is it's actually not barium and strontium and heavy metals, it's cow bandages, and they're just going to prey on your ignorance. And if you take
each other's lies,
and if you take their word for it, they're preying on your ignorance that you will take their word for it. So don't believe the lies. Do your own investigative reporting. And we also thank Marie Snow and Corey Gunnels with their story that they brought to us out of Hills, Arizona?
Chino Valley. Yeah.
Chino Valley. Okay, I keep thinking of Chino Hills. Chino Valley, Arizona. With that story, we will keep in touch with them. We appreciate them coming on. They're their own reporters. They don't need CBS 47. We have the internet. We have cameras on our phones. You can do your own reports.
Make your own lab tests.
Yeah, you can go do your own lab tests. You can be the information, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to bring you an alternative opinion and viewpoint, and because the mainstream media is not giving you anything of value. But anyway, we're going to get into some news. We appreciate you listening to the first hour. Go visit Jill Love Revolution, and also we'll be keeping in contact with Marie Snow and Corey Gunnels on that story. And so, Sam, what do we have? I know there's a lot going on, but you sent me 3 pages of news, but I didn't get through all 3 pages. But whatever, we're just going to go for it.
There's a lot to cover, Stuart. The criminally insane are running this system in America and the world. Break the mind control. Wake up to this fact. Stop being a coward. Now is the time to speak out. Don't believe the establishment lies. I'm going to go over a story from last year now, conveniently in our face by CBS DC, published on September 11th, 2013. Okay, this is in your face, America. Are you a sucker chump that believes lies? Jeb Bush awards Hillary Clinton the Liberty Medal. Okay, that's so absurd. I don't even have words to describe it, Stuart.
Yeah, I read this article. This came out, a year ago,
yeah,
Sam? And
on September 11th. Right, it's in your face. They're laughing at you. They're calling you a sucker, chump, fool, punk.
Yeah, absolutely. The Clinton and Bush family, they are very, very tight-knit with each other. They love being able to control the presidency of the United States. They ran Obama. They've ran the 3 previous
It runs in the
administrations.
family is what Hillary says.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's not freedom. That's not America. That's oligarchy.
Yeah, it's so funny. I actually commented on a little post on Facebook today about a guy I know that posted about Jeb Bush, and it wasn't really negative and it wasn't really positive, but I had to comment because are we really going to take a Bush-Clinton option? Is that really, are we really that ignorant and stupid and slaves? Are we slaves to the Clinton and Bush family in the military-industrial complex? Are we really? Because Hillary Clinton, they award each other medals, and then they act like they differ politically.
She got the Liberty Medal. I mean, that's so absurd.
Yeah.
When she's a total statist, Satan worshiper. I mean, these people's crimes are otherworldly. It's hard to even put into words. They're the worst people on the planet, and they march around like they have some kind of moral authority over us. They have none, zero, zip. They're pieces of human trash.
Yeah, and they love awarding. I mean, it's called liberty, even though they're anti-liberty.
Are they even humans? I don't think they're even humans at this point.
And guess what? George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton both received the Liberty Medal in 2006. They said they just award each other medals.
That's a slap in the face to every veteran that served in our military and has died in these foreign wars.
And that's how they like to throw it in your face. They give you the illusion that they actually are pro-liberty. It's like giving Obama a peace prize as he's bombing countries unconstitutionally, passing the NDAA,
Disgusting.
letting all this terror, torture go on. And George W. Bush said Hillary Clinton the other day, "Oh yeah, it's just like my sister-in-law." Mm-hmm. Oh, what? My sister-in-law? Yeah, and we're gonna let them act like
buy this crap.
They act like they differ politically. They don't at all.
One world government. They serve one world government agenda. Hillary Clinton's famous for saying that she takes her marching orders from the Council on Foreign Relations.
Yeah, and
remember Benghazi?
Yeah. Oh, well, what difference does it make? Mm-hmm. Exactly. But we're not going to be those neocons on the radio only talking about how Hillary Clinton is the problem.
No, Bush is horrible too.
Bush
Skull
is
and
terrible.
Bones, the cult, Satan worshiper. They're
Bohemian Grove attendees.
Yep.
And we're really going to be. It's just it baffles me.
These people are sickening, Stuart.
Yeah. And so Jeb is our only option, folks. I guess Jeb is our option. We can't have real options. We can't have a Ron Paul, and even Rand Paul is.
We can't even have Ted Cruz, probably.
I know. Yeah. No one that is pro-Constitution. And as we saw, what was it? State troopers or police now are saying that these MRAPs are for constitutionalists. Mm-hmm. We got people stockpiling.
That was out of Washington, yeah.
Yeah, so
Washington.
Yeah, and so
when these people swear an oath to the Constitution.
Yeah, and then they keep calling it public service what Hillary Clinton does. They keep calling it what Bush.
To rape and pillage and destroy our country is not public service. She's a war criminal.
Yeah, so they get Liberty medals for destroying liberty. They call it public service for raping and pillaging the public. And she's also a feminist icon while destroying destroying what women are supposed to be. And really, I mean, it's just, women, listen, do you want to be alone? You can be alone and be a feminist, but you will end up being alone. What you need to do is find yourself a good man that wants to take care of you and that believes in freedom and liberty in the Constitution, and that you want to have children with. Not having children and not having a man and just focusing on your career, you're going to be alone and you're going to be old and you're going to wish. And then you're going to be so bitter about that you're going to wish that you would have just done what is supposed to happen. Is that, yes, you can have a career, but also women, in order for our society to function correctly, men need to have good women to reproduce with. They're trying to destroy the family. It's a Brave New World. No one has relationships. Love doesn't exist. Everything is to serve the state. So Hillary Clinton, she is the poster child, the poster woman for service to the state.
For despotic, dystopian nightmare is what both of them, Bush and Clinton, that's what they are, the poster children of.
But they'll debate, when Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton, they're gonna act like they're opponents and that they hate each other, when just a year ago they were giving each other Liberty medals, and their families are tight-knit, they admit it. So I don't know how they're going to pass this one off. I mean, the public is
The
pretty
mainstream
dumb.
media won't report on it.
Yeah, they won't. Yeah, of course.
That's why we need to do our reports, because
Yes.
the mainstream media is a pack of liars
Yep, absolutely.
that cite each other about their
Yeah,
lives.
yeah.
Stuart, I guess pretty soon here we won't be able to call the NSA spying illegal wiretaps felonies every time they do it, because Congress endorsed warrantless collection, storage of U.S. communications. And this is an article out of usnews.com. So Congress is going to retroactively, I guess, make it legal for all this spying, so we can live in a Stasi, East German, Soviet-style society where everybody is a snitch on each other and the government is the all-seeing eye at the top of the pyramid and knows everything about everybody and can come in and try to intimidate you. Well, we will not be intimidated on this show in our life. We're calling them out as the criminal scum that they are, because in all reality, everything they do, regardless of the baloney that Congress wants to pass, this is wrong on every moral level.
Yeah, they're making it legal to spy on they're saying that they're going to
Collect all your phone calls, collect
They're saying
all
if
your
an
internet
intelligence
data.
agency...
They're already doing it,
Yeah,
let's be clear.
I know. That's just a funny thing, because we already know that they're collecting everyone's data. Why do you think they have these massive NSA bases where they can store a whole country's phone calls 100%?
Who knows? Infinity felonies a day right now, but they're trying to make it legal through Congress.
Yes.
And it's going to pass because they're all complicit in the crime.
Yeah, and so they're saying that if they're going to share information...
They're not getting a pass from us, all right? From the American people. We are not giving these criminals a pass.
Absolutely not. They're saying that the bill, when they pass it, and it will pass and get signed by the president, that law enforcement agencies can share information with other law enforcement agencies, and that if perhaps they're saying that it's for foreign phone calls, et cetera, to give that whole terrorist narrative that, we need to be protected from the terrorists. So they're saying
they are the terrorists.
Yeah.
NSA, CIA, FBI, all your alphabet agencies, the Congress, the president, the Supreme Court, all of them, they are the terrorists.
Yep, absolutely. So they are saying that if an intelligence agency happens to gather your data, which they're already doing, they're just making it legal, happens to gather, well, what does that mean? If they happen to just go into my phone and gather all my data? No, they're saying if they happen to gather the data, they can store it up to 5 years. So they're just giving themselves cover so that for 5 years they can unconstitutionally, illegally hold your information that they didn't get a warrant to get. They didn't have a court order, nothing. You're not being investigated, but it doesn't matter because they're making it legal. And we serve the police state. That's what we do. And Al Qaeda, nice. What does that say? No. What does that say, Woody? And so they're just making it legal for them to spy on us, and we're going to take it. And
they're already doing it.
My representative Devin Nunes loves the police state because Al-Qaeda. But now it's ISIS. But hey, in 2 years it'll be another terrorist group that they'll say we need to give up more rights. But it doesn't matter. They're still passing it as law. So really, we can't even really complain. They're just passing it, making it legal, even though it's illegal.
Executive Order 12333.
Yeah.
And man, I'm at a
don't know how to
loss
count.
for words, Stuart. This article goes on to say, it is good that Congress is trying to regulate 1233 activities, but the language in the bill just endorses a terrible system that allows the NSA to take virtually everything Americans do online and use it however it wants according to the rules it writes. That is the definition of tyranny.
If you spied on the NSA, you'd go to jail forever. But that's fine for them to spy on us. They are creating an Orwellian nightmare is what they're doing. And yeah, you know what, folks, go to congress.gov. You can download the entire bill and read it. And yeah, obviously a lot of people are not going to waste their time doing that because it's a bunch of garbage.
It's HR 4681, Intelligence Authorization Act for fiscal year 2015.
And you can go download the PDF. It'll give you a summary of the text, but also it'll give you the actual text. And download it.
And you can look at all the criminals on
GovTrack.us
that voted for it. It passed the House of Representatives 325 to 100. So those 325 are complicit in the crime against American.
And you need to look at those who's voting for it, because I'll take a look and see who voted, and I'll always look at specific representatives, because we already know the scumbags, but we need to follow through on our representatives that we believe to be representing us correctly. And they're for sure. And I checked on mine, and the guys that I know are against this. They're voting against it, and they, as they continue to do that, they are proving themselves out of principles. That we will continue to vote for them. They'll continue to vote a certain way.
Well, some politicians out of the valley that everybody knows, I want to give credit. Tom McClintock, he's a good conservative. He voted nay against it.
Yeah.
But then you have Jeff Denham here voting yay for it.
Yep, and he's a and Nunes.
Nunes voted yay for it. Thank you, Nunes and Kevin McCarthy. Thank you for this hellish police state that you're hoisting on the American people under the guise of this hoax war on terror, which will never end. You're liars.
Yep, absolutely. You're liars. And start thinking about your future and your kids' future. The police state is not going to, how much are you taking money from lobbyists? Do you just love being on the House Intelligence Committee or soon to be on the House Intelligence Committee known as? I mean, honestly, does that really matter? Are you willing to sell your soul for the police state?
They are. I mean,
for power in the police state, for a position?
He gets up on these big radio stations here in Fresno and sits there and spews the propaganda and lies all day. You're complicit now. You're a war criminal.
And they go on these shows and they'll spew the lies, but then also they won't come back if you're not friendly. So they're not willing to even debate.
You can't erase history. History will show the truth.
Yep.
Be on the right side of history already. This is utterly ridiculous.
Go
crime
download the
against
bill.
America.
Go download the bill. We need to stop being so ignorant. Look, if you don't like being spied on, go download the bill, read it, so at least you can combat these tyrants.
I guess we have to call it legal pretty soon once it passes through all the criminal. No, it's still.
What's the supreme law, though? What do you think the supreme law is, folks? The Constitution and your unalienable rights. Not just the Constitution. Your unalienable rights. You don't have the right to be spied on without your consent in the privacy of your own home, of your own possessions. You do not have the right to be spied upon.
History will be the judge. The rest of the world already knows this is garbage.
Yep.
Man, Stuart, I'm reading an old report here now out of the ACLU. This is from 2004. It's entitled The Surveillance Industrial Complex. This is what they rolled out after 9/11, the staged false flag terrorist attack that we were lied to about, that we never got a real investigation about, the total cover-up screw job. They don't give a damn about the first responders, their families, any of them. They told them it's go. The EPA said go ahead and keep Wall Street running and go in there and do your cleanup duty with no respirators. The air's safe to breathe. That shows you how much this government cares about the first responders. They don't give a damn.
Absolutely
it's
not.
Disgusting. These
Ain't
people,
that the truth?
These people are scum of the earth. They need to, That's why we're doing this show, calling them out. History will be the judge.
Yep. We're paying for the government.
History repeats itself.
Absolutely. We are paying for the government to spy on us, and it's not for Al Qaeda. So if it were for Al Qaeda, if the NSA can spy on 100% of a country's, can gather 100% of a country's phone calls, they can pretty much have godlike power.
They think they're God with the geoengineering.
And so why should anything bad happen ever? They should be able to
surveillance state.
Yeah.
Everything the bad is what they engineer to happen.
So if they continue to pass these Orwellian laws and just start illegally spying like they already are, but continue to do it, well, then how many more freedoms do we have to give up for them to be able to do that? Because every time something happens, we have to give up more freedoms. How about the NSA actually do something? How about you actually stop a terrorist? Have they stopped a terrorist? No, they have not.
No, they've helped. They've helped them.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't stop terrorism. So why are we even funding the NSA at all?
To spy on us, to steal our data, to put us in fear, to roll out this Stasi police state that is right in front of our face. I mean, go read.
Show me a terrorist that you've caught, NSA.
Go read the ACLU report, and it's all right here. They rolled it out right after 9/11. Government watch programs to spy on your neighbor, become a Stasi, Soviet police-style state. Some of the programs are Marine Watch Program, Highway Watch Program, Cat Eyes, Real Estate Watch, Florida Tips. It just goes on and on. Spy on your neighbor. They could be a terrorist. No, you are the terrorist.
Yep. Well, yeah, we are the enemy. Start understanding that we are the enemy. And the narrative of the terror, that's so blown over.
No, and they're outsourcing. The NSA is outsourcing to private contractors. I think it's like over 800,000 at one point, according to Edward Snowden, have access to all your online data, all your personal data. God knows what they're going to do with it. Oh, but they're all good people. Give me a freaking break.
The free market needs to start operating in to counteract all these Orwellian measures. So if I were you, listeners, I would start figuring out how to not be spied on. I have a Block It Pocket. Your phone, you should put that Block It Pocket on.
I'm gonna get one for Christmas.
There you go. There you go. Because we need to start counteracting this. So that's something that you can do. That's a solution. Start companies that will. I know John McAfee has ways to figure out an app so that you can figure out what exactly your phone is doing, what other apps that you've downloaded are doing on your phone, so you can actually see what kind of Orwellian tactics the apps you download have on your phone and are monitoring you.
Sir, Operation Shamrock. Okay, the NSA has been spying this whole time. Operation Shamrock was revealed in 1945, a program where they spied on all U.S. telegraph company communications under the guise of fighting the Cold War.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They've been doing it this whole time illegally, and we're sick and tired of it here. And we're calling them out on it.
And there's a new Cold War beginning as you see the gas prices going record lows in the last couple years, honestly.
All I can say is I'm glad that I have an economy saver.
What do you
because
have,
people are thinking about buying bigger cars, muscle cars. No, not me. I think the opposite. I'm going to save gas.
Good idea.
Or better yet, buy more gas.
Good idea, Woody, and save the environment. They're going to roll out another false flag, whether it's blamed on ISIS, Al-Qaeda.
Yep, they always do that.
Russia. And then they're going to say, look, we need all this spying. Baloney, we're calling you on it now.
And they're going to blame it on El Nino.
Yeah, who knows? Some made-up group from a cartoon. We know the plan.
Made-up group from a cartoon.
Yeah, we know your plan. We've seen it happen enough, and we're sick and tired of it. And the spying is immoral, and it's evil, and it's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, the NSA employees have been caught spying on people,
stalking their girlfriends.
Yeah, on people's private sexual lives.
Their
it's unbelievable.
Economic espionage, stealing businesses' ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
Isn't that called voyeurism?
They're not good people, okay?
That's
or they
crazy,
wouldn't even be
man.
working for the government in the first place at this point.
Yeah. No, all the good people in government have left, rightfully so, because they've
Maybe
either
there's
been a
still some good whistleblowers, but I mean, where you at? Come out. It's time to denounce this evil system now.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Your pension's not going to be there for you. We're going to cover that. How your pension, all you thought you had, you think you're a secret spy with a government badge. I'm what's the guy, Bauer from 24? Yeah. I'm James Bond. Baloney, you're not. You're not Jack Bauer. You're not James Bond. Your pension and your fat paycheck are going down the toilet unless you get on the right side of history.
That's right.
They're federal debt notes. They won't be worth anything. Get some silver, ammo, food, and start just thinking differently. We're gonna live in a different society here in about 10 years, a very different one. And we need to stop looking at the Middle East. I mean, literally, how much longer are we going to demonize Muslims? Are there Muslim radicals? Well, yeah, we've been involved in the Middle East for literally 50, 60 years.
Why are they worried about what's going on in the Middle East? We need to worry about what's going on here.
You hit
like
it right on
the
the hammer.
You know what I'm saying, man? We're too busy fighting wars in other countries. We need to worry about what's going on here at home,
foreign
man.
wars of aggression
that are unconstitutional because they're not declared. There's no clear enemy. There's no clear goal. It's exactly right, Woody. We need to worry about what's going on here.
Yeah.
We're living in poverty here.
We go to war overseas, and we don't even know what we're fighting for.
Yeah, no one has any idea.
And there's like a CIA whistleblower coming out on InfoWars saying that, ISIS is going to attack the U.S. Well, yeah, it's called blowback. We've been over there bombing the hell out of them with drones, killing innocent women and children. On and on it goes. I mean, we go over the history of it all day on this show.
Yeah.
And so, you think those people may want to retaliate? That is very possible. And so should this omnipresent NSA spying stop them? I think so. But no, they'll let it happen if it actually is organic terrorist attack. They will let it happen, or it'll be staged, engineered by our own federal government.
So if the NSA doesn't stop the next terrorist attack, folks, then they don't know how to do their job. They're not doing their job properly. They obviously don't know how to spy on terrorists. It's a joke.
Oh, they know how.
Yeah, they know
They can
exactly.
spy on us, though.
Yeah, they can spy on us all day because it's meant for us. It's meant for the constitutionalists, anyone who is anti-New World Order, anyone who doesn't go along with government narrative. And also, please stop demonizing people that don't believe the official story of 9/11. And also,
Do some research.
Yeah.
Man,
don't demonize us for saying, well, hey, yes,
no,
3,000.
that's intellectually bankrupt at this point. There's more than enough evidence. Go do some research and grow up and be a man.
Yep.
Yeah, our 3,000 Americans died. We killed 500,000 Iraqis off of sanctions.
More than that.
Just in the 90s.
You care about the troops so much. Look up depleted uranium they're using to poison our troops with radiation and the whole Middle East. Look it up.
Yep.
If you care about the veterans, speak out about that.
That's right.
Quit waving your flag.
Yep.
Sick of it.
And so we need to understand that we've been in Iraq for decades. So we had sanctions on Iraq, and that was UN sanctions, but also it was a no-fly zone, and it wasn't even cited in the UN resolution. And the UN resolutions have no jurisdiction over us. I'm sorry. They shouldn't supersede the Constitution. We shouldn't go along with a UN resolution that kills 500,000 Iraqi children because of starvation. But just Iraqi children in the 90s, up until 95 or something. So, of course, there's been millions that have died over the time we've been there, but just 500 million children have died.
Thousands of U.S. soldiers.
Yes, exactly. So we need to stop acting like 3,000 Americans. Yes, 9/11 was terrible, and believe me, everyone remembers that day. I was 11 years old. I remember where I was.
We attack countries that weren't.
We blow up people all the time.
The majority of the hijackers were from Saudi Arabia, if you believe that.
If you believe that, at least attack where the hijackers are from.
The official narrative doesn't even make any sense. We go attack Afghanistan and Iraq when the majority of the hijackers are supposed to be from Saudi Arabia.
And the rest of the world thinks we are stupid because we are. They ask us, okay, so Saudi Arabians attack you with Osama bin Laden, et cetera, et cetera. You invade Iraq, which had nothing to do. And then we'll say, well, weapons of mass destruction. Well, we didn't find any. Also, we funded Saddam in the 80s. We were friends with him.
You see that story they're digging up now on the internet? They're saying that Syrian rebels, ISIS, found some chemical weapons, possibly. I think that's a bunch of baloney. But remember the ambassador's daughter was saying that they're throwing babies out of incubators.
Mm-hmm. And that proved to be false, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
it did.
Yeah, it came out. So they'll do anything.
Fabricated.
They'll do anything preying on the ignorance of Americans to not only not care about people in the Middle East, but not care how we act towards them. Am I saying
that's going to come home? That's going to come home. That's all with this whole torture thing. If you think it's okay to torture people, it will come back to you.
And I'm not saying that when Muslims get pulled over and they say that they have a dead baby in the trunk of their car, I'm not saying that you just let them go. I'm saying freedom for everyone, not just specific.
Sensitive there,
we're not mindful. We're not culturally sensitive, but we're also not for blowing up the Middle East for no reason. So let's just think about
it's to steal their natural resources.
Yeah, to enslave Americans here at home to demolish the
so they could never come
Constitution.
together and create their own prosperous civilization because they're a big threat to us because they're Muslim
and they're sovereign nations too. So.
They don't have a Rothschild central bank running things.
So am I for not allowing Christians to pray at school? No, I'm for freedom of religion for everyone. We cannot be so selective here. And so when the establishment, police in general, and government selectively caters to a certain group like Muslims, but then while we're blowing up Muslims in the Middle East,
that's
the mind control.
To be able to demonize them, that's the mind
control. Demonizing them and then treating them here differently at home. In some cases, treating them terrible. In other cases, letting them go or letting Saudi Arabians go. But then demonizing all Christians. It's just they selectively demonize whenever they feel it. And then that gets the right wing of people that aren't very informed. They just get mad about that.
The low information crowd.
There you go. The low information crowd, which also is people on the right that are not doing their homework. They want to divide and conquer. They don't want us to see the whole picture. They don't want us to study geopolitics in other countries. They don't want us to study foreign policy. By the way, foreign policy is not mentioned in the Constitution. It has no there is no.
Our foreign policy comes from the Council on Foreign Relations.
There you go. But folks, we got to take a quick break. Here's a word from our sponsors.
Local businesses, do you want to help them succeed? So do we. The Thrifty Nickel Want Ads is a family-owned business that has been a big part of the local community for over 30 years. Our goal is not only to produce a paper that is not only successful, but enduring. We are looking for experienced outside sales representatives to help grow and expand the Central Valley's favorite classified paper while creating successful marketing campaigns that will increase business for their clients. If you care about better working relationships with local businesses, then we want to hear from you. 50% commission of every new contract acquired. If interested, contact Art at thriftynickelwantads.com or call 559-472-7182.
Listen up, Fresno. Are you tired of boring local news coverage? Then log on to FresnoForward.com, the Central Valley's #1 source for independent, local, and alternative news and views. FresnoForward.com is updated daily, bringing you stories on government corruption, local activism, Fresno culture, and so much more. Did I mention FresnoForward.com has no ads or signups required? FresnoForward.com. You'll love it.
We all know that a natural disaster, EMP attack, and martial law are a real possibility. Prepare before the crisis because FEMA can't and won't keep you safe. Tops Military Supply. Veterans serving veterans, their families, and the community. Visit us at 605 West Shaw, Suite A, Clovis, California, or call us at 559-298-6001.
Folks, we're back. This is We Are Change Fresno on 1680 AM. I'm your host, Stuart Webb, along with my co-host, Sam Chaney. We're going into crunch time, the fourth quarter, where we have to get out as much news as we can. We never really do because we just get so angry and stuck on one topic that we rant and rave about it. But you know what?
Big topic.
But you know what? These things are important, and the mainstream media is not covering any of that. Your local media is not covering any of that. In fact, anyone who works at a local mainstream media outlet, you have no opinion. You're a teleprompter. You will die. Your media will die. Okay, you will die out. No one wants to listen to teleprompters read from a script. So yes, exactly. You won't have a job because you don't think critically and you won't analyze. And also, you just are worried about.
You're a coward.
You're a coward. You just want to get a paycheck, and you are willing to just not care about important issues.
Totally immoral, a lying piece of garbage.
If your higher up tells you what to do, you're just going to do it no matter what. You don't think for yourself. Sorry, you're in the free market. Will eventually have to operate again, even when this whole thing collapses. Because as they try to bring the New World Order and the global elite, things will start to collapse. California will probably go. People will migrate to constitutional areas where the Constitution's respected, where freedom is still around, where the free market is around, and that's where people are going to start ending up. I mean, this is going to be a slow decay, and it's going to get bad. But
incrementalism, the frog in the boiling water, is a perfect analogy
of what they are.
It's
not us.
No,
but what
that's
they
the
are.
system. What the system's doing to America, Fabian socialism. Look it up.
Yeah, and so anyone who's working for the government, mainstream media outlets, you are dying. You don't produce anything good. No one reads it. Drudge Report gets 30 million hits a day. You couldn't pay for that. You could not afford, even if you had the money, even if you printed the money, you can't afford fake ratings. No one will go view your news because it sucks. It's not real. There's no opinion. And also, it doesn't lean towards liberty. People like to be free, and when you just feed them 2-minute stories of, well, the president passed a bill that took away all our freedoms today, but we're going to look into it and get back to you. But now back to sports. No, sorry, we won't listen, and no one else. That's why young kids don't watch the news. They don't read the news. Because unless it's alternative, nothing's provocative, nothing actually shows opinion and actually makes sense. So, of course, kids are not going to be interested in your news station and what you're reporting because you're not reporting anything good. The fruit of your labor is sour. So, and what we produce, you be the judge, but what we produce is actually, at least it's honest. Even if you can't stand what we talk about and how we rant and rave, because we're angry. But you know what? We're producing good fruit, honest fruit. You can trust us. We're moral. We're honorable. And that's all we care about. And we care about exposing. And you know what? Having an opinion and having the freedom of speech and using and expressing it is not a crime. So even if you disagree with what I'm saying, counter me. At least we can have a discussion about it. And I'm at least involved. I'm involved. We do this show because we care about the public and we're involved. So at least we're trying. Okay. So to mainstream media and local mainstream media, you will die out. You are not producing anything good.
I want to have a future for me and my family, Stuart, and not live in this despotic, dystopian, Orwellian nightmare. And so that's why, big motivation why I do this.
Self-preservation.
Yeah,
Interest of self-preservation,
yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Start speaking out for yourself to survive because
And I
we're
would
being
like
sprayed.
the world to be a better place, and I think that we do have the potential if we can throw off the reins of this tyranny.
Freedom is the best option. Sorry, freedom and liberty is the best option. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to be enslaved, okay? That's not where we're on this earth. Doesn't matter if you believe in God. You're not here to just be a mind control slave.
That's right.
You're here to do more. We have
potential. What's the famous saying? There are no atheists in foxholes. Stuart, let's blast through the news here. People say, well, if all this geoengineering, aerosol spraying was going on, then why haven't any scientists come out? Well, a big reason why is, like we talked about in the first half hour of the second hour, is the NSA spying. They are afraid, and I'm sure they've been threatened. And there's a bunch of testimony to it on geoengineeringwatch.org. Go check it out. That's a big reason why they have these scientists scared to death.
And then what Dane covered on the article is that they can't. They're basically given gag orders. They can't speak about it.
They
Their
don't
higher
have
ups.
any First Amendment
They don't
protection.
have a first, even though they do have a First Amendment protection. They're told that they will get fired or there'll be repercussions. So of course they don't. Actually, they don't have their First Amendment without threats of. I don't want to say violence, but threatening someone just for speaking, just for saying something, and then threatening them with their
threats.
Yeah. So and
if
we
you
know
all the surveillance and stalking and all this garbage with these secret spies is going on, and I'm sure they're pressured from every angle to keep their mouth shut.
That's how the president is able to get away with crimes, is that he just puts a national security order on anybody, a whistleblower, people. They'll just give people gag orders. A gag order. That's just saying someone can't speak out.
I mean, they're still persecuting William Binney, the high-level NSA whistleblower. Edward Snowden had to leave the country, and so right there tells you that any high-level whistleblower is at very high risk for being persecuted by this tyrannical government.
Regardless of what you think about Snowden, folks, he had to leave the country. America is so tyrannical and authoritarian. Someone who actually spoke out about told the truth about the felonies that are being committed. He had to leave the country. So it doesn't matter if he's a triple agent or if he's someone who's trying to sabotage America. It doesn't matter, because what he told us was the information that he brought forth that turned out to be correct shows the illegal actions of our government and shows that they're committing crimes against us. And so either whether you look at it, that information, it shows the tyrannical system that we live in and the unconstitutionality of it. So it doesn't matter whether you like them or not. It's illegal what they're doing.
Yeah.
The Fourth Amendment. Sorry, it's illegal. It pisses me off.
It should piss you off, sir. Here's a great website people should go to, governmentoversight.com. I just wanted to mention them because I go to their site and they're working on it, developing it, but they're monitoring government. And that's what we need to do as vigilant citizens if we want to live in a free society.
And that's what Sam and I and Pam are beginning to put together, which you'll find out about that in the coming weeks. We are doing our own little online operation, just like this governmentoversight.com. We need people to start their own online websites to start make your own media network. Start making your own media network and focus on
that's the answer.
Yeah, focus on certain specific issues.
We see here the protesters for the police brutality from the Brown, which is whatever, and then the Garner case. We see protesters in Oakland get a gun pulled on by an undercover cop, agent provocateur, posing as an anarchist, which is what they do. They're famous for doing it. just pointing his gun at the cameraman and acting like a total street thug. I mean, what makes him any better than the actual thugs doing the looting? I don't really see a difference at this point.
If I just walked up to someone, hit them over the head, put their hands behind their back, pulled guns on people, and just said, well, I'm an undercover cop, that is blasphemy. Sorry. Undercover.
It's disgusting.
It's just unbelievable. Government is not God. You cannot just violate
agent provocateurs there to start violence, to demonize peaceful protests. Is what they're doing.
And then they pull guns on people and then say, well, I'm an undercover cop, and this guy is defending himself. He can't do that against the all-powerful state, which I am a part of.
Stuart, and this whole
unbelievable.
This whole media narrative that the federal government is pushing. See, we need local law enforcement, police, sheriffs. We need you on our side, on the Constitution side, on the people's side, to throw off the reins of this federal tyranny. But they want to tell you all day the public's the enemy, that we are Change Fresno's the enemy, that Stuart and I are the enemy, when in reality, and the public, the general public's your enemy. Well, in all reality, a Bureau of Labor Statistics report lists the top 10 most dangerous jobs, and police is not even one of them. Number 10, construction laborers. Number 9, power line installers. Number 8, farmers and ranchers. Number 7, drivers, sales workers, and truck drivers. Number 6, mining machine operators. Number 5, recyclable workers. Number 4, roofers. Number 3, aircraft pilots. Number 2, fishermen. And number 1, logging workers. And so police didn't even make the list from 2003 Bureau of Labor Statistics. And so come on, it's a false narrative. Wake up to the bogus training and get right with the Constitution, which you took an oath to.
One of the most dangerous jobs is being anywhere in the vicinity of a police officer, because you might get shot for, I don't know, upsetting them. And they have the problem is, like, whether people like this or not, or agree with this or not, police can shoot you. They can shoot you. It doesn't matter. They can say they were threatened. They can shoot you. They actually teach them in the academy how to testify a certain way, and how to say that I was threatened.
They're trained liars. Where is your morality already?
And not demonizing police, but
we're getting the end of this whole.
But they don't have a right.
They're going to collapse the economy.
Yeah. And when people are protesting,
trying to start a civil war in this country.
People will beg for the police state, and then it'll be the whole cops versus the people, et cetera, et cetera. But really, police need to understand that they need to get involved with their community off hours, okay? And you need to remember your oath to the Constitution, because
the federal government's trying to engineer a civil war in this country, all right?
Well, and what happens when police that are off duty get treated like crap too? You're not going to like it. And then they're going to bring in the military. And then the military, sorry, police, we're going to take guns away from you. They're already trying to do that. Take guns away from police. How do you think you'll feel about that? That's why you have your taser on you. You got 4 different ways of subduing someone, because eventually they're just training you to get rid of that gun, because they're going to get rid of guns. They're going to try to get rid of guns.
Let's have some just common humanity for your fellow man.
And not worry about a paycheck. And it's just unbelievable. Police have the license to kill. Sorry, I'm not demonizing police. They just have the license to kill. It's
scary, Stuart.
They have the license to kill. What? Disagree with it. You can disagree with it all you want, but it's true. They have a license to kill. When was the last time a cop got convicted for killing someone? Even the Kelly Thomas case, the cops were let go. They beat him to the pulp on video. A homeless guy. They
never get criminally charged, or very rarely criminally charged. And what winds up happening in a lot of these police brutality cases is the taxpayers wind up paying the civil fine out to the victims, out to the victim and their family. And so all their brutality is on the back of the taxpayer.
We are paying for our own police state. We're paying for our own enslavement. What happens if you feel threatened by a cop? Oh, wait, you can't. You're not allowed to. Folks, you're not allowed to disagree with a cop. You're not allowed to feel threatened and use your Second Amendment or your right to self-defense against a cop. Sorry, they are immune. Cops are immune. The New World Order has granted them. Sorry, that's what it is, because we're not a sovereign nation anymore. They have granted them the immunity. The state gives you the power to do whatever you want. We will never convict you, no matter what. I mean, even if a judge convicted a cop for murder, I mean, that judge would probably be out the door.
It's so immoral and evil, Stuart, and we're playing right into the hands of the New World Order, fighting with the police. That's exactly what they want. Wake up to this fact, police. You are getting bogus federal training, and get right with the people. We are on your side. So we're moving on here to 9/11 news. Okay, do some research about 9/11. I'm begging you. There's architects and engineers. There's all these people coming forward that have done their research. Here's David Long, 9/11 survivor and author of the 9/11 petition, presented to Parliament in Canada now because our ridiculous government doesn't want anything to do with a real investigation into 9/11. But they presented the evidence. It's all on record that we need a new investigation. And there's a bunch of Iraq war veterans marching against the war, calling for a new investigation into it. So it's very patriotic to do so. And that's what we're doing here on this show. And I'm sick of the mindless patriotism and the flag waving. Do some research and be a real man already.
Stop demonizing Iraq veterans against the Iraq war too. They put their lives on the line. So stop. Unless you know what? Anyone who's pro-war, you go fight it. Sorry. Anyone who says that to me now, just, you're pro-war, you go to Syria. You want to attack Assad, you go to Syria.
You want to fight,
you're not going to send my buddies.
The cartoon characters.
Yeah, you're not gonna get me to support a drafting people. Literally, and Ron Paul talks about how unconstitutional the draft is. The draft is illegal. It's unconstitutional. You can't force someone to go kill other people under just because you're the government. You cannot do that. Doesn't matter. Even if you're under attack, you don't have to force someone to defend themselves. Sorry.
So this last week, the omnibus spending bill or cronibus bill,
ominous.
Ominous, yeah. $1.1 trillion was passed by Congress. I'm sure it'll pass through both houses, and it's already passed, and the president will sign it, and we're going to go ahead and continue to fund Wall Street. And in here is your pension funds, everybody serving the system, all the secret spies. You think that you're serving the government for a paycheck now. They are going to collapse this economy. The banks you need to start arresting Wall Street bankers, okay? We went over before on this show about the mortgage fraud. You don't even own the title to your home, all right? Get that straight. Look it up on mirrors. There's more than enough evidence to prove that. They are going to steal your pension in this bill. There's over $303 trillion worth of derivatives outstanding. All these big banks are leveraged on average 50 to 1. They're going to steal your pensions in a bail-in, and that's what time it is.
When those derivatives go sour, correct, Sam? I mean, basically what happens is that they have $303 trillion in derivatives.
Yes.
That's an unfathomable amount of money. I mean, that's not so they're banking on obviously that those are going to fail. And
obviously.
So,
well, they
and
can't
so
bet right every time.
Exactly. So what's going to happen is that they're going to dig into actual liquid funds, right? Your pensions and things that
to bail in the banks.
Because
that's coming. Bail-ins, which has already happened.
Yeah.
In Cyprus, for example, and Greece.
Yeah.
Bail-ins.
Yeah. Get ready for that. That's why I would take your money out of the bank. And invest it in things like Bitcoin. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. Bitcoin, silver, gold, ammo, everything intangible, assets, books.
Learn what financial derivatives are.
Yeah, and then maybe you'll understand why we shouldn't be letting the banks.
This is pure insanity.
Yeah. And take your business elsewhere.
Congress works, and the president and the Supreme Court, they work for the bank cartel, not the American people, and that's why they're giving these bogus orders to set us up for the collapse, militarizing the police. We're all pawns in the game. Wake up.
The bubble's going to burst sooner or later. It's inevitable. And we have, 200 trillion unfunded liabilities. And it's just not going to be, it doesn't pan out. There's no way we'll ever pay it back. And not that we're planning on we just passed the spending bill. So we're not, does that have paying back the debt?
No, it's designed to collapse so they can bring in the one world government as the savior, one world currency. When they engineered this whole crisis because we don't have sound money in this country.
Yeah, and when I hear people say, the economy's recovering. It's not recovering, okay? We're not when I hear economy recovering, I mean
it's all bogus data.
Yeah, is the free market do we have more of a free market now than we did 6 years ago? No.
Listen to real economists,
Max Kaiser,
Paul Craig Roberts, John Williams, just shadow stats. Get some real data. Look at what these guys are saying. They're telling you, it's all bad, and I'm telling you the truth. There is no good way to spin this.
When you pump so much fake wealth into the economy too, there's no way to get if you put your real money in. You're not going to get the money back. They're banking off of the free goodies. And so that they can make bets with your money.
To enslave your own people, you're going to serve an evil system. To live high in the hog now, you will have no pension and no future.
Absolutely.
Stuart, part of this bill, the House passed a bill that repealed the Dodd-Frank restrictions that risky derivatives being pushed by the big banks are no longer illegal. So that right there goes to show you that, and that's this big.
Oh, so now it is legal again.
It is. Dodd-Frank supposedly restricted it.
Yeah.
That was a dog and pony show. Didn't give us any real reform, but that was the answer after the 2008 collapse was the Dodd-Frank bill, and that was supposed to restrict the derivatives market when the SEC will not criminally investigate any of these banks. All oversight, all regulation out the window, and so this just codifies it back to repeal Dodd-Frank. And so, yeah, your pensions are now on the table, and that's what this collectivist Senator Elizabeth Warren, don't be fooled by her. At least she's speaking out a little bit against it, but she's a socialist collectivist, so don't be fooled by her rhetoric.
Yeah, no, she's not a great
she's
option
not
for
the
us.
answer. Her answer is give the state more power.
Yeah. And the banks, like they said, they're too big to fail, also too big to jail. So anything they do, they're not going to be. They'll pay fines. They'll pay out. They'll pay out in civil suits millions of dollars, but they're not going to go to jail. No one's going to go to jail. No one gets in trouble. So
it's criminal fraud.
If you have enough money, you can pay off.
They're literally, you don't own. They can't even explain who owns the deed to your property, to your home at this point.
And it's designed that way. Probably
it's designed that way. They destroyed our whole financial system. They are financial terrorists. Who are the real terrorists? Wall Street bankers, executives, the ones who've engineered this financial collapse that's coming on like a freight train now that they're going to use to steal your pension funds. How much longer are we going to go along with this garbage, America?
Give me control of a nation's money. I do not care who writes the laws. To paraphrase, what was it, Rothschild? So if they are in control of the money and they write the laws, and also most of the time they write the laws in favor of the big banks and everyone who
repealed all regulation.
Yeah, so
that supposed regulation when the regulators weren't even enforce it. Economist William Black, the guy that went in there and prosecuted 1,000 bankers for the savings and loan crisis, go watch some of his videos, and what his opinion about it is. He says they've removed all criminal investigators into finances from the FBI. So there is not even a task force to investigate it. They're putting all their energy into oppressing and surveilling the American people.
People who stockpile weapons, which could be 3 guns, could be 1 gun. They're stockpiling
people
or 2
who
guns.
use their First Amendment like me and you.
Yeah, they're we're stockpiling words and literature.
Yeah, we're reading articles about how tyrannical and evil our government is and trying to express it to the public. So we must be bad, right?
And we're
so
bad,
we need to be surveilled.
Yep, and that's how it's gonna continue. If we don't stand up to it, if we don't start speaking out against it now, it's gonna get real bad. They're getting rid of the regulations. Well, maybe in
they
general,
weren't enforcing them anyway.
They weren't enforcing them, but
now
also
it's on paper just like before.
That's the thing.
Like
They're making it
spy.
legal. Yeah, they make it legal to cover their butts for the time being, so they can't get prosecuted for the time being. But when it all collapses, we need to understand that they are the number one enemy. But
the central bank is the number one enemy of this country. The financial terrorists. That's who it is. All law enforcement start looking at the real criminals. Them.
And if they can get rid of these regulations on the banks, well, we should just get rid of regulations on business in general so that the free market can operate.
No. The EPA needs to come shut you down because you're damaging the environment.
Yeah, no, you're right. Let's live as slaves, and then the banks can have whatever regulations repealed as they want.
You don't think Hunger Games is sexy, Stuart?
Well, Jennifer Lawrence is good looking. So maybe we do need to live in a Hunger Games scenario.
We know they're implementing all these globalist policies, Agenda 21, one world government, one world currency. Do some research. It's all on record. There's thousands of books written about it. Give me a break already. History is be on the right side of history, all right? Man, Stuart.
Yeah, and we got to make a decision, folks. We got to make a decision. If we're going to stand up, I would take all your money out of the bank. It's Federal Reserve debt notes. So they're not really worth anything. They're only worth something as long as we say that they're worth something. So and any legal tender laws are all illegal. You should be able to barter. You should be able to pay with whatever is accepted. But people like that are demonized too. So we need to start. There's a monopoly on currency. And that's why Bitcoin, I guess, is a decentralization of that monopoly. So I do like that, but it doesn't just need to be Bitcoin. Start your own currency with your own community. They've started to do that stuff.
Ithaca dollars, for example.
Yeah, and so you can actually be the change. You could just say, no, I'm not going to operate in dollars anymore. I mean, Russia's doing it.
Notes.
Yeah, Russia's doing it. People are
China's doing it.
Yeah.
The rest of the world's had enough of this garbage already.
Yeah. And we're not saying that the rest of the world's good. We're just saying that the United States, we are the most tyrannical.
They are divesting away from the dollars. What we're saying.
Yeah, because they see where it's headed, and wars probably coming soon, or rumors of wars. It doesn't matter either way. There's going to be austerity in the States, and there already is, and we have 100 million people that can't survive on their own.
Here, Stuart, that they call austerity in America an economic recovery.
Yeah. Exactly, and nothing's recovered. We're out of it's a recession now. We're actually in a depression, but we're going to call it a recession, even though we never got out of depression.
Let's go through some news quick here. They are covering up Sandy Hook. It was a staged falsified terrorist attack. There's a great documentary online at mediasolidarity.com. They tried to censor it, and it even blew up bigger. So
yeah,
that was a pretty good one.
Yep, irony.
The flu shot again. It's come out that and we're going to continue to reiterate this. The CDC said this flu shot this year does not work.
Yeah, and it doesn't. They have to switch it every year.
But they're still pushing it at every drugstore, pharmacy, CVS, Rite Aid. They're pushing it. Stuart, I went to Rite Aid the other day. Or no, I'm sorry, CVS. And they answer the phone. Hello, this is CVS, home of the flu shot. I mean, it is utterly...
It's like a mascot. It's an American mascot. It's get your flu shot, and they'll give it to you for free. They're pushing it so hard on insurance plans, you can get it for free. Man, the government, man, they such a great product. They care that much, and it's such a great product that they'll give it to you for free. I would avoid going to the doctor at this point. Have a private physician come to your house. Have someone you know look at you off hours, off the record.
Allopathic medicine.
Yeah, there's so many.
We're not doctors, so we can't give medical advice on the show. But please look into alternatives. Stuart, 5 signs the global engine of deceit, lies, and control are coming to an end. Number 1, pharmaceutical industrial complex has been exposed. The media is no longer capable of instilling trust. Number 3, the conventional food industry is collapsing. Number 4, the freedom movement is gaining momentum. Number 5, the liberation of nature and abolishment of all things toxic is now inevitable.
The status quo and big pharma and all these the powers that be,
fraud cartels.
Yeah, exactly.
Run by the Rockefellers and Rothschilds.
Their fruit is sour from their labor.
It's pure poison
sour.
And evil.
It's poison and evil. So we're not buying it anymore. Yeah. Oh, big pharma, of course they're not doing well. Everyone's sick, but yet they keep pushing more drugs that don't actually do anything. They'll put a bandage on the problem, and then you'll just continue to get worse and worse.
Every one of the big pharma pills has all these crazy side effects, bleeding out of every orifice. I mean, really?
Yeah. And they always put it at the very end, and they talk really fast, like it's yeah. Those are all the side effects, and bleeding out of every orifice. No one's getting healthier. Okay, stop buying the lie. Big Pharma's is they just want you on
the medical
legal drug dealing.
The medical establishment was founded by Carnegie and Rockefeller foundations. Look it up.
It's medical
tyranny.
They're
disgusting pigs.
Yeah, they tried to make chiropractors get licensed. They tried to keep chiropractors from doing business until chiropractors sued them.
Any competition against
sued
them
the American Medical Association. Yeah.
Stuart, here on Dangerous Minds, if you want to go along with this evil system at this point, go out and get yourself a Baphomet sweater.
Baphomet sweater? Yeah, they have those?
They have a Baphomet sweater here.
What's the website? Give it out. I'm sure there's some people that think it's cool.
dangerousminds.net/satanic Christmas sweaters.
Awesome.
And you can get the goat head Baphomet with a pentagram in the background on it, and just go ahead and serve Satan.
And Satanism is just a trend to demonize Christianity. They don't even believe anything. They don't even believe in anything that has any value at all. So, folks, we're about out of time. Thank you for listening and putting up with us, but we'll be back next week. And, peace, love, and liberty. Anything else, Sam?
Yeah, speak out and take action while you can, because the NSA is just like Santa. They know when you've been naughty and nice.
This show is sponsored by We Are Change Fresno. We Are Change Fresno. We Are Change Fresno.
They already act like it here in America that you're not allowed to film the cops, but it's completely legal. But she's raising awareness, and she's not just, and also she's a model now because of her exposure, but really she's going to continue to touch many people's lives and impact people because of the activism that she's doing. And she can make a difference, and she is making a difference, and we need to think that same way. We can't just sit around and be apathetic and say, well, I mean, yeah, we kind of know things are bad, but I mean, what do we do about it? Well, first, you have to stop saying, well, what do we do about it? Okay, do something about it, okay? And if it requires you sitting at home thinking about solutions, thinking about ways you can do something and actually make a difference, well, then you sit at home and you do that, okay? You cannot just continue watching television and let them, the powers that be, literally use mind control on you through the television to be apathetic and not care because, look, a lot of things are going on, and the only way it's going to get changed, the only way it's going to reverse course is if we do something, the people, okay? And they're banking off your ignorance, you're banking off your apathy, and they're going to use CBS 47 to say, oh, well, what you gave to us is, it's actually not barium and strontium and heavy metals, it's cow bandages, and they're just going to prey on your...
It's the time to speak out. Don't believe the establishment lies. I'm going to go over a story from last year now, conveniently in our face by CBS DC, published on September 11th, 2013. Okay, this is in your face, America. Are you a sucker chump that believes lies? Jeb Bush awards Hillary Clinton the Liberty Medal. Okay, that is so absurd. I don't even have words to describe it, Stuart.
Yeah, I read this article. This came out, a year ago,
yeah,
Sam? And
on September 11th. Right, it's in your face. They're laughing at you. They're calling you a sucker, chump, fool, punk.
Yeah, absolutely. The Clinton and Bush family, they are very, very tight-knit with each other. They love being able to control the presidency of the United States. They ran Obama. They've ran the three previous administrations.
It runs in the family is what Hillary says.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not freedom. That's not America. That's oligarchy.
Yeah, it's so funny. I actually commented on a little post on Facebook today about a guy I know that posted about Jeb Bush, and it wasn't really negative and it wasn't really positive, but I had to comment because are we really going to take a Bush-Clinton option? Are we really that ignorant and stupid and slaves? Are we slaves to the Clinton and Bush family in the military-industrial complex? Are we really? Because
this show is sponsored by We Are Change Fresno.
Folks, we're back. This is We Are Change Fresno on 1680 AM. I'm your host, Stuart Webb, along with my co-host, Sam Chaney. We got our producer, Woody, in the studio.
Hey.
We had a great first hour, an interview with Jill Love, an artivism activist.
Awesome.
And she does great art for the public, in public, so that she can raise awareness for very important things like Palestine, what's going on between Palestine and Israel.
China's human organ harvesting.
Organ harvesting. I mean, you got to check out her website, JillLoveRevolution.com. It'll amaze you what she's and what she's doing, and it's really the images that she does. They're pretty tasteful. Okay, it's not porn. She's trying to portray a message. She's trying to convey a message to the public that's important. And you know what? If it takes an attractive woman bathed in blood or whatever, or oil.
Organ harvesting?
Yeah, organ harvesting in China. This is going on. She's raising awareness. And if it takes a beautiful woman,
in Spain.
Yeah, if
free speech in Spain. She just told us that they just made a law in Spain. You don't have any free speech and you're not allowed to film police. That's coming here, America.
Yeah, you're not allowed to film. Hillary Clinton, they award each other medals, and then they act like they differ politically.
She got the Liberty Medal. I mean, that's so absurd.
Yeah.
When she's a total statist, Satan worshiper. I mean, these people's crimes are otherworldly. It's hard to even put into words. They're the worst people on the planet, and they march around like they have some kind of moral authority over us. They have none, zero, zip. They're pieces of human trash.
Yeah, and they love awarding. I mean, it's called liberty, even though they're anti-liberty.
Are they even humans? I don't think they're even humans at this point.
And guess what? George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton both received the Liberty Medal in 2006. They said they just award each other medals.
That's a slap in the face to every veteran that served in our military and has died in these foreign wars.
And that's how they like to throw it in your face. They give you the illusion that they actually are pro-liberty. It's like giving Obama a peace prize as he's bombing countries unconstitutionally, passing the NDAA,
Disgusting.
letting all this terror, torture go on. And George W. Bush said Hillary Clinton the other day, "Oh yeah, it's just like my sister-in-law."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what? My sister-in-law? Yeah, and we're actually gonna let them act like
buy this crap.
They act like they differ politically. They don't at all.
One world government. They serve one world government agenda.
Ignorance. And if you take
each other's lives,
and if you take their word for it, they're preying on your ignorance that you will take their word for it. So don't believe the lies. Do your own investigative reporting. And we also thank Marie Snow and Corey Gunnels with their story that they brought to us out of Chino. What was it? Hills, Arizona.
Chino Valley. Yeah.
Chino Valley. Okay, I keep thinking of Chino Hills. Chino Valley, Arizona. With that story, we will keep in touch with them. We appreciate them coming on. They're their own reporters. They don't need CBS 47. We have the internet. We have cameras on our phones. You can do your own reports. Make your own
lab tests.
Yeah, you can go do your own lab tests. You can be the information, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to bring you an alternative opinion and viewpoint, and because the mainstream media is not giving you anything of value. But anyway, we're going to get into some news. We appreciate you listening to the first hour. Go visit Jill Love Revolution, and also we'll be keeping in contact with Marie Snow and Corey Gunnels on that story. And so, Sam, what do we have? I know there's a lot going on, but you sent me 3 pages of news, but I didn't get through all 3 pages. But whatever, we're just going to go for it.
There's a lot to cover, Stuart. The criminally insane are running this system in America and the world. Break the mind control. Wake up to this fact. Stop being a coward. Now